while my wife at my side lies slumbering, and the wars are over long, and my head on the pillow rests at home, and the vacant midnight passes, and through the stillness, through the dark, I hear, just hear, the breath of my infant. There in the room, as I wake from sleep, the vision presses upon me. The engagement opens there, and then, in fantasy unreal, the skirmishes begin. They crawl cautiously ahead. I hear the irregular snap, snap. I hear the sounds of the different missiles, the short st, st of the fireballs. I see the shells exploding, leaving small white clouds. I hear the great shells shrieking as they pass. The grape, like the hum and whir of wind through trees, tumultuous now the contest rages. All the scenes at the batteries rise in detail before me again. The crashing and smoking, the pride of the men in their pieces. The chief gunner ranges and sights his piece and selects a fuse at the right time. After firing, I see him lean aside and look eagerly off to note the effect. Elsewhere, I hear the cry of a regiment charging. The young colonel leads himself this time with brandished sword. I see the gaps cut by the enemy's volleys, quickly filled up, no delay. I breathe the suffocating smoke. Then the flat clouds hover low, concealing all. Now a strange lull for a few seconds. Not a shot fired on either side. Then resumed the chaos louder than ever, with eager calls and orders of officers, while from some distant part of the field the wind wafts to my ears a shout of applause, some special success, and ever the sound of cannon far or near, rousing even in dreams a devilish exultation and all the old mad joy in the depths of my soul. And ever the hastening of infantry shifting positions, batteries, cavalry moving hither and thither. The falling, dying, I heed not, the wounded dripping red I heed not, some to the rear a-hobbling. Grime, heat, rush, aide-de-camps galloping by, or on a full run, with the patter of small arms, the warning st of the rifles. These in my vision I hear or see, and bombs bursting in air, and at night the vari-colored rockets. Who are you, dusky woman, so ancient, hardly human, with your woolly white and turbaned head, and bare bony feet? Why, rising by the roadside here, do you the colors greet? 'Tis while our army lines Carolina's sands and pines. Forth from thy hovel door, thou Ethiopian, comest to me, as under doughty Sherman I march toward the sea. Me master years 100 since from my parents sundered. A little child they caught me as the savage beast is caught. Then hither me across the sea the cruel slaver brought. No further does she say, but lingering all day, her high-born turbaned head she wags, and rolls her darkling eye, and courtesies to the regiments, the guidons moving by. What is it, fateful woman, so blear, hardly human? Why wag your head and turban bound, yellow, red, and green? Are the things so strange and marvelous you see or have seen? Not youth pertains to me, not delicacies. I cannot beguile the time with talk, awkward in the parlor, neither a dancer nor elegant, in the learned coterie sitting constrained and still, for learning inures not to me. Beauty, knowledge, inure not to me. Yet there are 2 or 3 things inure to me. I have nourished the wounded and soothed many a dying soldier, and at intervals waiting, or in the midst of camp, composed these songs. Race of veterans, race of victors, race of the soil ready for conflict, race of the conquering march, no more credulity's race, abiding tempered race, race henceforth owing no law but the law of itself, race of passion and the storm. World, take good notice, silver stars fading, milky hue ripped, weft of white detaching, coals 38, baleful and burning, scarlet, significant hands off warning, now and henceforth flaunt from these shores. O Tan-Faced Prairie-Boy, before you came to camp came many a welcome gift, praises and presents came, and nourishing food, till at last among the recruits you came, taciturn, with nothing to give. We but looked on each other, when lo, more than all the gifts of the world you gave me. Look down, fair moon, and bathe this scene. Pour softly down night's nimbus floods on faces ghastly, swollen, purple, on the dead, on their backs with arms tossed wide. Pour down your unstinted nimbus, sacred moon. Word over all, beautiful as the sky, beautiful that war and all its deeds of carnage must in time be utterly lost, that the hands of sisters, death and night, incessantly, softly wash again, and never again, this soiled world. For my enemy is dead, a man divine as myself is dead. I look where he lies, white-faced and still in the coffin. I draw near, bend down and touch lightly with my lips the white face in the coffin. How solemn as one by one, as the ranks returning, worn and sweaty, as the men file by where I stand, as the faces, the masks appear, as I glance at the faces, studying the masks, as I glance upward out of this page, studying you, dear friend, whoever you are. How solemn the thought of my whispering soul, to each in the ranks, and to you. I see behind each mask that wander, a kindred soul. Oh, the bullet could never kill what you really are, dear friend, nor the bayonet stab what you really are. The soul, yourself I see, great as any, good as the best, waiting secure and content, which the bullet could never kill, nor the bayonet stab, O friend. As I lay with my head in your lap, camerado, the confession I made, I resume. What I said to you and the open air, I resume. I know I am restless, and make others so. I know my words are weapons full of danger, full of death, for I confront peace, security, and all the settled laws to unsettle them. I am more resolute because all have denied me than I could ever have been had all accepted me. I heed not, and have never heeded either experience, cautions, majorities, nor ridicule. And the threat of what is called hell is little or nothing to me. And the lure of what is called heaven is little or nothing to me. Camerado, I confess I have urged you onward with me, and still urge you, without the least idea what is our destination, or whether we shall be victorious or utterly quelled and defeated. Delicate cluster, Flag, O teeming life, covering all my lands, all my seashores lining. Flag of death, how I watched you through the smoke of battle pressing, how I heard you flap and rustle cloth defiant. Flag, cerulean, sunny flag, with the orbs of night dappled. Ah, my silvery beauty, ah, my woolly white and crimson, ah, to sing the song of you, my matron mighty, my sacred one, my mother. Did you ask dulcet rhymes from me? Did you seek the civilian's peaceful and languishing rhymes? Did you find what I sang erewhile so hard to follow? Why, I was not singing erewhile for you to follow, to understand, nor am I now. I have been born of the same as the war was born. The drum corps rattle is ever to me sweet music. I love well the martial dirge, with slow wail and convulsive throb, leading the officer's funeral. What to such as you, anyhow, such a poet as I? Therefore leave my works, and go lull yourself with what you can understand, and with piano tunes, for I lull nobody, and you will never understand me. Lo, Victress of the peaks, where thou, with mighty brow regarding this world, the world, O Libertad, that vainly inspired against thee, out of its countless beleaguering toils, after thwarting them all, dominant with dazzling sun around thee, flauntest now, unharmed in immortal soundness and bloom. Lo, in these hours supreme, no poem proud I chanting bring to thee, nor mastery's rapturous verse, but a cluster containing night's darkness and blood-dripping wounds, and psalms of the dead. Spirit whose work is done, spirit of dreadful hours, ere departing, fade from my eyes your forest of bayonets, spirit of gloomiest fears and doubts, yet onward, ever unfaltering, pressing, spirit of many a solemn day and many a savage scene, electric spirit, that with muttering voice through the war now closed, like a tireless phantom flitted, rousing the land with breath of flame, while you beat and beat the drum. Now as the sound of the drum, hollow and harsh to the last, reverberates round me, as your ranks, your immortal ranks, return from the battles, as the muskets of the young men yet lean over their shoulders, as I look on the bayonets bristling over their shoulders, as those slanted bayonets, whole forests of them appearing in the distance, approach and pass on, returning homeward, moving with steady motion, swaying to and fro, right and left, evenly, lightly, rising and falling, while the steps keep time. Spirit of hours I knew, all hectic red one day, but pale as death next day. Touch my mouth ere you depart, press my lips close, leave me your pulses of rage, bequeath them to me, fill me with currents convulsive, let them scorch and blister out of my chance when you are gone. Let them identify you to the future in these songs. Adieu, O soldier, you of the rude campaigning which we shared, the rapid march, the life of the camp, the hot contention of opposing fronts, the long maneuver, red battles with their slaughter, the stimulus, the strong terrific game, spell of all brave and manly hearts, the trains of time through you, and like of you all filled with war and war's expression. Adieu, dear comrade, your mission is fulfilled. But I, more warlike, myself and this contentious soul of mine, still on our own campaigning bound, through untried roads with ambushes opponents lined, through many a sharp defeat and many a crisis often baffled, here marching, ever marching on, a war fought out, I here, to fiercer, weightier battles given expression. Turn, O Libertad, for the war is over. From it and all henceforth expanding, doubting no more, resolute, sweeping the world. Turn from lands retrospective, recording proofs of the past, from the singers that sing the trailing glories of the past, from the chants of the feudal world, the triumphs of kings, slavery, caste. Turn to the world, the triumphs reserved and to come. Give up that backward world. Leave to the singers hitherto. Give them the trailing past. But what remains, remains for singers, for you. Wars to come are for you. Lo, how the wars of the past have duly inured to you, and the wars of the present also inure. Then turn, and be not alarmed, O Libertad. Turn your undying face to where the future, greater than all the past, is swiftly, surely preparing for you. To the leavened soil they trod calling, I sing for the last, forth from my tent emerging for good, loosing, untying the tent ropes, in the freshness, the forenoon air, in the far-stretching circuits and vistas, again to peace restored, to the fiery fields, emanative and endless vistas beyond, to the south and to the north, to the leavened soil of the general western world, to attest my songs, to the Alleghanian hills and the tireless Mississippi, to the rocks I calling sing, and all the trees in the woods, to the plains of the poems of heroes, to the prairies spreading wide, to the far-off sea and the unseen winds, and the sane impalpable air, and responding they answer all, but not in words. The average earth, the witness of war and peace, acknowledges mutely. The prairie draws me close, as the father to bosom broad the sun. The northern ice and rain that began me nourish me to the end, but the hot sun of the south is to fully ripen my songs.